All right, everybody, welcome to another deep dive.
Yeah, hey everyone.
Today, we are diving into some class notes,
Okay.
and the topic is dynamic programming. So these class notes are simply titled O1.
Oh, one. Huh.
Yeah, a little bit mysterious.
Yeah.
But these notes, even though it seems like they're introductory, give a glimpse into a really, really powerful problem-solving technique.
That's right. Yeah, algorithms are everywhere in computer science, right? And dynamic programming is a really elegant way to make hard problems a lot easier.
Yeah, and I'm looking at this O1, and I'm thinking, okay, is there a O2? Is there O3? Like what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. What's next? Where do we go from here?
Yeah, this is just the beginning, it seems like.
It's the first step in a much larger world, and this is our entry point.
So what is dynamic programming?
So dynamic programming is this idea that you can take a really big problem and break it down into smaller pieces that kind of overlap with each other, right? So it's like taking a big puzzle and breaking it down into its individual pieces. You solve each piece, and then you put all the pieces together.
I'm with you. So far, break down a big problem into smaller problems.
Exactly.
But what makes it dynamic?
The dynamic part is when you solve one of these smaller pieces, you remember what the solution was, so you keep track of it.
Okay.
And then if you see that same problem again later on, boom, you've already got the answer. You don't have to calculate it again.
So it's like building a cheat sheet as you go.
Exactly. It is exactly like a cheat sheet, and that's what makes it so powerful.
Yeah, because if you think about it in terms of real-world computers, you're saving so much computing power, right?
Completely.
By not recalculating the same things over and over again.
It's not just about getting an answer. It's about getting the best answer, the optimal answer, in the most efficient way.
And this is really reminding me of the road trip analogy that you were talking about earlier, right? Where you map out the best route to each city on your trip, and then you don't have to keep stopping and checking the GPS.
That's it. You've already calculated it beforehand. You know the best way to go.
Exactly. And this could apply to something like finances too, right?
Yeah.
Like figuring out how much to invest each month.
Yeah, you can use it to balance how much you're saving now versus what your long-term goals are.
So it's not just about computers, it's about planning ahead. Right?
Absolutely.
To kind of,
It's all about planning ahead, recognizing the patterns in front of you, and figuring out the smartest way to reach your goal.
I know you're interested in the listener's field.
Yes.
And dynamic programming actually plays a huge role in that field.
It really does.
For example, specific example related to the listener's field.
Yeah, it's used all over the place. And the thing is, it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. It works best for problems that have very specific characteristics, like the ones we've been talking about, problems that can be broken down into these recurring, smaller pieces.
So we shouldn't go around trying to apply dynamic programming to every problem we encounter, right?
Oh, no, it's all about finding the right tool for the job.
You know, this is making me think about when I was trying to relate a humorous personal anecdote. And when I look back on it, I was kind of doing dynamic programming without even realizing it.
That's how it works a lot of the time, right? We do these things naturally, and then we learn the names for them later.
So dynamic programming, it's a really powerful technique. We see it in computer science. But the main idea, breaking problems down, saving the solutions, and finding the most efficient way to do things, that's something we can all use in our lives.
So here's a question for everybody. Where else might dynamic programming be hiding in plain sight?
Ooh.
What problems could you solve more effectively if you used this way of thinking?
That's something to think about. And now that you mention it, I'm starting to see dynamic programming everywhere I look.
I bet.
Thanks for taking us on this deep dive.
Of course.
Until next time, keep those cheat sheets handy.
You got it.
See you later.